Were they like it was like kind of like Dick Wolf did specials. They did Lifetime movies.
Right.
Oh, they probably made.
So they would just
billions.
write for Nick Turturro. So it would be Nick's got a 6-movie deal, a 6-picture deal. So Nick's going to do 3 this year and 3 next year. But we also have the chick from CBS. They had her at the time. So it's her. So you would basically work for 8 weeks. Then you'd have 9 weeks off. You would work 8 weeks, then you'd have 9 weeks off. That was the rotation.
Right.
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guys, and the guys like, dog, we just come back and blasted. No overtime, by the way. 7 to 5.
Yeah.
No overtime.
They didn't need overtime.
No. They were so good. No overtime.
They had it down on science.
Quick looks.
These people are smart.
Yeah, quick looks. They framed 2 ahead.
Yeah, but
they were like a soap opera type fucking angle.
I'm surprised you didn't do 8 million of them. That sounds like your
You know
dream.
what, man? He got me one, and then he offered me one day and another one, like a year later.
Did he give you a good one? Like a good... Like
The bookie one was good. I still got the reel.
Yeah.
I weigh
Did
about
they
400
pay
pounds.
Did they pay like... They must have paid the top stars something.
The company, it was really weird because he was saying, this company, this is what they do.
Because like years ago, man, when I was first on NYPD Blue, I got like a movie of the week. I remember. I couldn't believe like an offer came in. It was like and I basically turned it down because I was going to do a play. It was a lot of money, and then I was saying, oh man, I fucked up. Why did I do that? And then they went to Matthew Perry, and then he didn't want to do it, so I was able to get it back. But I was like, man, I was almost going to blow, $125,000 or something to star like a movie of the week. But you could make some nice coin in your hiatus back then if you were on TV. You had a TV name, so right away you were, a commodity, But you can't find that shit today. Don't matter who you are. And, they don't do the movie of the weeks and all that shit.
Don't do them no more.
No,
Nobody's doing that.
They did away with those things, I mean, now you got to go and fight for guest spots. Spot.
Guess what? Lee's going through changes. I just caught him.
It's the beginning stages.
Is he?
Yeah.
What's going on with him?
You could just look over at him and you can see him like he gets very sad. He thinks of Jerusalem and he thinks of the old country. Yeah. He gets all sad and shit.
Someone stole my credit card and tried to buy Jamaican food. So it was a bad night.
When was that?
When was this?
Last night. $38 of Jamaican food.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Then they knew it wasn't me.
They did.
So, yeah, they knew I wasn't eating Jamaican food. So
I'm surprised.
At least my credit card company.
I mean, listen.
That's all right.
Let's
I'm
pretend.
sure
Let's pretend that they caught it, and all of a sudden they go, "All right, type up Lee Syatt." The picture you came up with that shirt on, looking like you do right now, and they said, "Let me ask you a question. Does this guy look like he gets Jamaican food?" What do you think the question would be?
No, he gets good food. I can tell he knows what he likes, and he's never been to a Jamaican restaurant before in New York.
Getting bullshit out of this shit. That wine with the edible fucking makes this feel like mushrooms.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You
very
like the
lightly.
mixture?
I like it.
That's a little Pinot.
I like it. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Did you finish your wine, Lee?
Absolutely.
Jesus
I like
Christ.
Pinot.
Did
Pinot's
you
my
eat-
favorite.
Did you eat
Want a
another
little-
star?
You all right?
Yeah, of course.
Want a little more?
Sure.
When do you drink wine, Lee? I didn't
I
know
never.
you were a wine drinker.
I don't, but when I do, I like Pinot.
Now, let me ask you something. How many tutorials are there in the acting business?
There's my brother. There's Aida, my cousin, me, and I got my son and my daughter. Interested, but she's more interested. But she's interested more in music. But there's 3 of us that I know of. She had another sister who was talented, Aida, but she didn't really make a living at it. She was a musical theater girl. But as far as I know, the 3 of us, yeah.
You weren't one of those acting class dudes.
No.
You didn't go down to the South Village and
I didn't like
meet
that
with
shit.
Monaco.
No, I was a freaking theater major for 1 year running around in tights, and I didn't like it. And all the kids, I thought they were all kind of, fanuc, So I was like, this ain't for me. I got to put tights on and stretch, and I was making noises in the class. And one of my friends this one guy liked me. None of those people made it. It's so funny. And then I did it 1 year there in vocal, me, mow, like my brother does, all that shit. And I'm like, I just didn't, I not that I didn't want to act, I just didn't like all that theatrical theater kids. So after 1 year, I said, I'm not coming back. This is not, this is not what I thought, acting was. But I think I wasn't totally committed then. When I got committed later on, I learned on the job. I didn't have all the classical. I took a class with this guy, Bob Modica, but him I liked because he wasn't like your typical acting teacher. It was like if my father became an acting teacher. He was a bit insane. He used to stir his coffee with a switchblade, and you would have to do this exercise called the repetition. And he would speak like this, and you basically had to put your attention on somebody. They put their attention on you, and you have to be honest. So you might say like, they might say like, you're angry, but you have to be truthful. I'm angry. Yes, you're angry. Yes, I'm angry. You're angry. Right, I'm angry. Yes, you're angry. Yes, I'm angry. That bothers you. Yes, it bothers me. It bothers you. Yes, it bothers me. It bothers you. Yes, it bothers you. Yeah, but you had to stay in the moment. But if you were fake, Modica would be like, that's not it. He would stop the exercise. But sometimes, like, if you didn't know what to say, he would write on a piece of paper.
Now, where was this at?
This was in Carnegie Hall. He was great, this guy.
How much a month?
Robert
Back
X.
then.
Modica. Back then, it might have been like, it was kind of big. It was expensive back then. Maybe $150 a month or $200. I don't remember, but he took a liking to me, because he knew I was kind of like raw and I was like a caveman. Because I remember he talked to because my brother studied with him a little bit, and he played football against him and his brother against my uncle Tony. It's so weird that we found this guy Modica. He actually was almost in The Godfather. He was almost Sonny Corleone, because of Coppola. I spoke to Coppola. He said he loved Bob Modica, this guy. He had a little acting career, but teaching was his thing. But I loved him because it was like my father, he was forceful but educated. And like, he'd tell you sometimes to go outside. It was like an idea. He'd say, go outside and take a walk and figure out why you're coming to the door. Don't come until you know. Right? So one time I fucking like disappeared for 15 minutes. He came looking for me. He goes, you gotta come back. And I said, I know, Bob. He goes, no, you gotta come back. And he liked me. Because, he was like, I told my brother, I don't know what that kid wants to do, but he's interesting. I used to come in with my doorman uniform. He'd be like, hey, General. I was a doorman around the corner. He'd go, you're just in the neighborhood? You figured just stop by. Because you had to try to get in when people were working. You had to listen. The door was a black that said Robert X. Modica. It's kind of a scary door. And he's over there with the switchblade and fucking moving the desk around. He was a great guy. He was actually in a movie with me, Federal Hill. He played like my dad.